Sneaky beavers gathering resources while puzzling out Bridges of Königsberg in the right time in Kingdom Crossing.
And today we'll be teaching you how to play Kingdom Crossing, game designed by Marco Canetta and Stefania Nicolini, and published by Sorry We Are French.
And hi everyone, it's Stella.
And Tarrant, welcome to Meeple University.
And hey, if you enjoyed this video after watching, like, subscribe, comments, you know what to do. Now, let's get to the classroom.
The Critter Kingdom of Bright Spring is a realm of 4 landmasses and 7 bridges. Now the Queen desires to build an 8th, and over 4 rounds of play, players will take it in turns to cross the bridges they have, purchase and gather the resources and decorations they need to contribute to the new bridge, and complete objectives to earn points and the Queen's favour. There's a movement puzzle to resolve, as each round players will take 4 turns but can't cross the same bridge more than once. Their previous paw prints only washing away with time as each round ends. And after 4 full rounds of play, whoever's earned the most points through their resources, objectives and more will be the winner. I won't take you step by step through setup, but I'll show you the components when setup is done. On the various board spaces, you'll randomly place the 10 decks of cards, 8 characters and 2 structures. Shuffle each and flip the top cards face up. There are 4 types of bird tokens, each corresponding to one of the landmasses, and you'll shuffle and place those tokens face down. On the tree, you'll have 4 of the 5 Queen cards. These all begin face down. And below that, some of the most important point scoring features of the game. These are the bridge objectives, shared objectives which players will be racing to complete, and these are arranged in a random order and on either their easy or difficult sides. And the stacks of Queen's favour tiles. These are individual objectives which players can gain through the game to score endgame points. Throughout play, the green victory icon always represents points gained immediately, and the red one is points gained at game's end. Players begin with 0 points, and also at 0 on this track known as the investment track, one way to gain money during play. Each player has a player board containing 7 paw prints, 2 houses and 6 goal markers in their colour. The board has 4 resource trackers with their markers beginning at 0. Do note, these are tracks which will only ever increase through the game. In Kingdom Crossing, you're collecting resources which will be used to build a bridge after the game is finished. You never spend them to build anything during the game. You begin with one of these home structure cards, which is slotted underneath the left of your board. Players also take a full set of 6 action tiles, each flipped over to the beige unupgraded side and placed to the left-hand side of the player board. Now it's time to choose starting resources. Take a number of these double-sided starting cards equal to the player count, and pair each one with a random Queen's favour tile. Randomly choose a first player, and then in reverse clockwise turn order, each player picks one of these pairs, gains anything printed on it. So in this case it would be 30 coins, a wood and a food, and 1 step of investment. Checks the bird type on this icon and places their Meeple and starting house on the matching landmass, and slots the starting card above the board into its matching guild slot. Make common supplies of the remaining components, the coins, the 2 types of decorations, sculptures and flowers, and a shuffled face down deck of these 4 empty deck tiles. Place the hot air balloon on the same landmass as whoever has the first player token, and you're now ready to play. Kingdom Crossing plays over 4 rounds, and each round plays over 3 phases, morning, noon and evening. The bulk of the play takes place during the noon phase, with the morning serving as a round setup and the evening as a reset. First is morning, and morning begins with players gaining income, represented by the hand, from the cards above or below their boards. Above your board, you'll gain an income benefit for every 2 cards that you have which matches the guild type. For example here, 2 points for every pair of yellow cards. You won't gain anything from here in your first round. You also gain 1 income effect from each structure card which you've placed below your board, and all players will have the same one in round 1. This represents 1 step of investment, and when you gain this icon, either now or at any other time, you have 2 choices. Either advance your marker 1 step to the right, or cash out your investments, gaining the money below your marker and moving all the way back to the left. Make sure all players remember to do this in the first round. It is the only income you'll gain. Then set up the board. Reveal the next Queen card face up, and from its corresponding stack, add a bird token face up to every card on the board. On any round other than the first, clear out any face-up bird tokens or a face-up Queen card before doing these steps. Finally, remove any bird tokens which don't correspond to your player count. So you'll always leave them all in a 4-player game, but if I were playing 3 players, I would discard this one immediately, and likewise this one for a 2-player game without replacing them. Never separate these other player count tokens before you begin playing. This process intentionally randomizes some of the piles to be empty for the round. Now proceed to noon. The noon phase is resolved in turns. Each player will take 4 turns in total, starting from the first player and going 4 times clockwise around the board. On your turn, you must choose 1 action tile from the left-hand side of your board, move it to the right-hand side of your board, and use it to resolve your turn. There are 3 possible ways to take your turn: to work with movement, to work without movement, or to rest. Most of your turns will be to work with movement, and so I'll talk about these first. To do this, choose and move one of the 5 action tiles which shows a paw print. If it also shows a non-paw print icon, you can gain this extra benefit once at any point on your turn. You must now move by crossing exactly the number of bridges shown on the paw print, and for each take a paw print left to right from your board and place it on the bridge you've just crossed. Players may freely share land masses with each other and may freely cross bridges already containing other players' paw prints. But your prints remain on the bridges throughout the 4 turns of this round, and you are never allowed to cross back over a bridge which already contained your paw print. Next, choose a card stack on your destination landmass. If it contains a bird token, then gain that token's bonus and collect it face down. It could combo with other components for bonuses or points later in the game, but otherwise has no effect. Then spend coins to purchase your chosen card, or in some cases take it for free if it has no cost. Resolve the card's printed effect immediately, and then slot it in the appropriate slot of your player board, above if it matches a guild, or below if it's a structure. Immediately reveal the next card, but never replace the bird token. You must be able to perform these steps to take a work with movement turn. That is, there must be a legal path for you to move exactly the number of paw prints shown, and after taking the bird, if available, you must have enough money to purchase a card in your destination. If you cannot do both of those things, then you cannot make that choice of turn. So what are the different types of actions? Well, each of the 10 stacks has a different theme, and every card within that stack is going to give you a similar type of action. These 4 stacks are all about gaining the matching resources. So these cards would simply give me 1 sap or 3 food respectively. This card would give me 1 stone for every 2 paw prints I already have on the map this round, incentivizing you to grab this one later on, but early enough that no one else has snatched it. When gaining resources, advance the matching marker across the numbered spaces, skipping over any decorations, and immediately gaining any reward you cover or cross. These two stacks let you gain decorations, either flowers or sculptures, and through the effect you'll either gain 1 or 2 of the decoration. If you gain 1, take a single token, either a 1-star or 2-star token, and cover an empty space with the matching decoration and star count. If you gain 2 at once, either take 2 single pieces or one of the long pieces, again covering a matching empty space. In endgame scoring, you want your resource markers to have crossed as many stars as possible, as this is going to score you points. These two stacks are structures, and structures are all about gaining incomes. When you build a structure, slot it underneath your board and resolve its effect immediately. Here, for example, 1 point for each of my structures, and therefore 2 points. Structure incomes will be triggered again in each morning phase. This deck gives you money. Every card within this deck is free to gain, and give you various ways of gaining money immediately. Finally, this deck is the Peddler, and this is the most variable of the decks. There's a wide range of different effects found within here. The second type of turn is work without movement, and this specifically involves this action tile, the Queen tile. Move it from the left to the right of your board, take the face-up Queen, gain its immediate benefit, and take the first player marker. You will be the first player in the next round. Then slot the card into the matching guild as usual. Only one player may take this action per round, and the face-up Queen should not be replaced until the start of the next round. Your final option is rest. This is a way of gaining money and might be your only option if you're running out of money. Move any action tile from the left of your board to the right and gain the amount of money printed in its top right corner. You take no other action on this turn. Through the course of your actions, there are several other bonuses and free rewards that you can claim. After finishing each turn, check all of the bridge objectives to see whether you meet any of them. For example, I'd have finished this if I just collected my 7th total bird token. Place one of your goal markers on the highest scoring remaining space and gain the points immediately. When playing a 2-player game only, whoever is second to complete claims the 3rd slot, not the 2nd. When completing this bridge objective, you make the choice to move your marker 3 steps backwards on the track without gaining money, but without needing one of these icons to trigger it. The cards you add above and below your player board will have a significant impact on your incomes and points. During each morning phase, you gain a benefit for each pair of each guild card you have. So 2 points for every pair of yellow, 1 income step for every pair of purple, or 1 resource of your choice for every pair of white. Every pair of red lets you upgrade one of your action tiles, flipping it over to the other side. Or if they're all upgraded, gain 2 points. Upgraded tiles have better rest bonuses, better additional bonuses, or new effects like doubling the bird bonus for any bird token you take on the turn you use that tile, or even doubling the queen bonus if you take the queen. Each pair of blue cards will let you activate one of your structures a second time during that income, with each such bonus having to be used on a different structure. There's also benefit for generalizing across the 5 guilds. When you have 1 card of each guild, you get to build a second house, placing it on any landmass not already containing one of your houses. The 3rd house is built once you have 2 cards of each guild. A critical part of final scoring will be your Queen's Favour tiles. Each of these should be worth maybe 8 to 12 points if you've handled the objective well. But you need to race to collect them, and there are 3 ways to do this. The first is when you've built both of your houses. The second is any time you move a resource to the final space on its track. and the third is by completing both bridge goals in the same row. When you gain a queen's favour, take one of the 3 face-up favours and replace it, or draw blindly off one of the decks if you don't like your options, and collect it near your board ahead of final scoring. It may happen that a deck runs out of cards, and if this occurs, draw the top empty deck tile and place it into that location. For the rest of the game, players who visit that space can resolve that effect but will not get to take a card. Finally, there are bonus points on offer for placing as many paw prints as you can in each round. Upon legally placing your 6th paw print, you immediately gain 3 points. And if you can place your 7th paw print, then you gain a further 4 points for a total of 7. Now, I know what you're thinking. That's impossible. Leonhard Euler proved it was impossible in 1736, and even developed a whole new mathematical branches of graph theory and topology to prove it. Well, Euler lived in the time before the Montgolfier brothers invented the hot air balloon, and that is what allows you to place 7 paw prints in this game. On a work turn with movement, either before or after your movement, but not during, so not in between these 2 steps, for example, you may charter the hot air balloon to move you to any other landmass. If you're currently on the same landmass as the balloon, this costs 3 coins, while if you need the balloon to come from elsewhere to pick you up, it costs you 10 coins. Pay the money, bring the balloon to you, and then pick up both your meeple and the balloon, moving it to the landmass of your choice. If you'd already spent the round's paw prints, then you'd take your action in the destination. While if you're yet to move, then you must complete your move from there. Once all players have taken 4 turns, the noon phase is over and you'll move to evening. This is where your houses come into play, and if your meeple finished the action phase on the same landmass as one of your houses, then you gain the single income of your choice, meaning you choose either one guild column or one structure and resolve its income effect. Now reset for the next round. Move all of your action markers back to the left of your board. Retrieve your paw prints. You've got a new path to trace next round. And if these steps completed another bridge goal, claim it now. Use the new turn order to resolve any conflicts. Once the 4th round is complete, the game is over and it's time to add up final scores. Score each of your queen's favour tiles based on how well you've achieved the objective. Here I get 3 points per house I've placed, including my starter, so 9. Here it's 3 points for each pair of a flower and a sculpture, so 9. Here it's 2 points per queen's favour, so 8. And 2 points per red guild card is 4. Then score guild cards based on the matching coloured resource and the number of stars its marker has crossed. Yellow corresponds to wood. Wood has crossed 1 total star, so my score is 1 times 2 is 2. Purple is stone. I've crossed 2 stars, so 2 times 4 is 8. For blue, 2 times 1 is 2, and for red, 2 times 2 is 4. White cards have no endgame scoring. For each of your structures, score endgame points based on the position of your lowest resource marker. Here it's my sap, which is in the 3-point section, so 3 times 3 is 9. Finally, score excess money and investments. Cash in your excess money for steps on the investment track at a rate of 5 to 1, and score for the final position of your marker. The player with the highest score wins. In the event of a tie, most leftover money after that final 5 to 1 cash in breaks the tie, and if still tied, victory is shared.
Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, maybe you'd like to watch this next one. Have a great day. Bye!